Hello and welcome back to Stramash. If you've not been here before, good to have you along. Please consider subscribing. More an update than a vlog for you this week, just to keep it very short. As you know, I've got the new van, so I've just used this weekend to give it a bit of a shakedown test. Took the van down into the Scottish borders, down to a wee site called Riverside near to Hawick. Spent a couple of days there just to see how things were going, and I have to say it's all been pretty positive so far. One of my objectives was to try the van out actually on the road. Clearly I drove it I towed it when I collected it from the dealer in the first place, but that was mostly motorway between Preston and Edinburgh, so I didn't really get the opportunity to try it out. So this weekend, going down into the Scottish borders, managed to try it out in some of the smaller, tighter roads, including going through some pretty small villages, and I have to be honest, it was absolutely great. So the site I stayed at was called Riverside, and as its name implies, it's on the banks of a river, the River Teviot to be precise, and there's some beautiful walks along that river. If you head south, it takes you down into Hawick, which is roughly about a mile. If you head north, it takes you into Denham, that's about 2 miles. But either way, really good walks, mostly woodland along the banks of the river. It had been a bit wet the couple of days prior to me arriving, but the walk was ideal. 1 or 2 muddy bits, but not a problem at all. The site itself, I think it's primarily a static caravan site, but there's spaces for about 20 tourers. Facilities are quite basic, but they are good and clean. Toilet block, no complaints about it whatsoever. They were pretty spotless inside. Good toilets, good showers, and there is a chemical waste point, an L-sand point, just to the right of the toilet block there. The pitch itself we had was gravel, hard standing, very level. And the site, there was no problems with noise or anything. It was just a great place to stay, and I'll definitely be going back there. The other purpose for the trip was to do a bit of snagging, to be honest, make sure there wasn't anything wrong with the van that I hadn't noticed when I picked it up. And to be honest, I've not found anything that really concerns me. On the battery locker door, there was a little plastic cap on the end of one of the hinges. It looked like it was coming loose. I've pushed it back into place. It seems to have stayed there, so don't think that's really an issue, although I will keep an eye on it. If there are any issues at all, it's been with the command system. It's been a bit erratic at best. It works absolutely perfectly from within the caravan, but if you try to use it remotely, either from inside the van using Bluetooth or at a distance over the mobile network, it's erratic at best. I managed at one occasion to switch the lights on from home. I could see they'd gone on because I was able to connect using my CCTV, but I couldn't put the lights off again, so I had to get the car, drive up and switch them off by hand, which really didn't impress me. So I'm going to get that looked into. I've not reported it yet. We'll see if we can get that addressed as quickly as possible, but it's not stopping me using the van. The only other thing I came across was when I got to site, I plugged into the mains, as everybody does, and I realised that my battery wasn't charging. There was actually power from the mains. I checked that, and the van itself was powering up, just the battery wouldn't charge. Ironically, when I disconnected from the mains, the solar was charging the battery. So that required a little bit of investigation, but it turns out it was nothing more than a fuse, a 20 amp fuse that sits between the battery and the battery charger. I replaced that and everything's been working fine since. So as far as snagging goes, I don't have any real complaints. So far it's been absolutely delightful, and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way, to be honest with you. Just a wee bit on the projects I've got coming up. I've taken delivery of a new lithium battery, a mains inverter, some cabling, and 1 or 2 other bits and pieces, so I'll be able to start on that project. Oh, and the solar panel, the Renogy 200 watt flexible solar panel, which I'm going to replace the existing one with. So I should get underway with that project quite soon. I've also got another project that I'm going to introduce, which I think some of you might find of interest. It's not 100% caravan related, but it does involve the caravan. I've got an issue in that my sat nav, which is quite expensive Garmin system, will not work in the car because of the heated windscreen. It simply blocks the GSM signal and it doesn't know where it is. So I have a need for a nav system, but I think I found a device that's going to address another couple of things that I need. So I also want a dash cam and a reverse cam, and I want the ability to record both of these. But the reverse cam, I don't just want something for when I'm driving the car. I would like something that I can use when I've got the caravan on the back, so I can see what's behind the caravan as well, something that I think a lot of us really dislike. There are options out there, but none of them seem to be ideal. I think I've found a solution that's going to do all three for me. It's going to provide a navigation solution, it's going to give me a dash cam, it's going to give me a rear view or reverse cam as well for both the car and the caravan. So I'm doing some experiments on that just now before I actually put it out to you, but if all goes according to plan, I'll be sharing that one with you soon. So that's pretty much it. Short and sweet this week, until I find something to actually do and show you, but I will keep in touch. For those of you that have already subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You're already added to my Christmas card list. If you've not subscribed and anything I'm doing is going to be of interest to you, please consider doing so. I would really welcome it. Thanks very much, and catch you all again soon. Cheers.